there are a lot of interesting and increasingly well understood ways that intersectionality shows up and shapes the mental health of BIPOC clients. The truth is that many mental health issues can be either driven by or worsened by intersectional stressors. And I'll give you some examples of what that can look like. Say, for example, I'm working with a client who is Native American and they're also deaf, right? They might face ableism, stereotypes about what it means to be deaf or hard of hearing among other Native people. They may also face experiences of racism and anti-Native prejudice when among others who are deaf or hard of hearing, right? And so this individual is experiencing intra-community stress and stigma. When you're rejected within a community that you care about, that you rely on for support, it can really sting. And what we know from science is that it can lead to some pretty pervasive mental health problems. And clients like this can really benefit from the space to discuss these stressors and how to cope with it. We can think of another example, such as take a client who is Black and Christian and bisexual, right? A client like this might feel conflict between their Black Christian identity on the one hand and their sexual orientation on the other hand. We now know from research that identity conflict of this kind is really stressful. And not only is it stressful, but it's linked to depression. But it's possible that this risk can be lessened through affirming and effective psychotherapy. To provide one more example, we can consider the case of a transgender client who is not only trans, but also is poor or working class. A client like this might find that the transphobia they experience in the job market keeps many good jobs out of their reach. And at the same time, they may feel that without that job, without a basic sustained income, they can't afford the very clothing, hormone therapy, or even surgical interventions that would affirm their gender identity and expression. So these concerns you hear in this case are really intersectional in that the concerns with class really shape the stressors around one's transgender status and identity. And at the same time, that transgender status and the transphobia that accompanies it has some implications for work and income. And so I give these examples because one of the best things that clinicians can do, and in particular, clinicians working with clients who are holding and juggling multiple marginalized identities, is to give them the space to, and not just the space, but also the language to begin to discuss intersectionality and how it shows up in their everyday lives. The nice thing about, and the nice opportunity that there is for therapists to do this work is that frankly, everyday life is rarely specifically just about one issue or the other. Life is messy. And so if as clinicians, we give clients the space to bring their full experience, we will begin to hear how these various systems of power, these various identities, all are showing up at the same time throughout our clients' lives.